everyone and welcome to Let's Learn English Online. Today we are going to study about clauses and its types. So let's get started. Question comes in our mind that what is a clause? A clause is a group of related words containing a subject and a predicate. For example, he loved. A clause refers to a group of related words within a sentence or itself as an independent sentence, which has both subject and predicate. For example, I will meet him in office. The part of above sentence is I will meet him is a clause because it has a subject I and a predicate will meet him. On the other hand, the rest of the above sentence in office lacks both subject and predicate verbs. Such group of words is called a phrase. A clause may stand as a simple sentence or may join another clause to make a sentence. Therefore, a sentence consists of one, two or more clauses. We will discuss two types of clauses. First is main or independent clause. Second is subordinate or dependent clause. Subordinate clause has further three types, that are noun clause, adjective clause and adverb clause. Let's discuss main or independent clause. It is a clause that expresses a complete thought and can stand as a sentence. Examples are: she is wearing a shirt which looks nice. The teacher asked a question but no one answered. Both these sentences are expressing a complete thought and can stand as a sentence. Let's move towards subordinate or independent clause. Subordinate clause is a clause which does not express complete thought and depends on another clause to express complete thought. Subordinate clause does not express complete idea and can't stand as a sentence. A sentence having a subordinate clause must have a main clause. For example, he likes Chinese rice which tastes good. The clause which tastes good in above sentence is a subordinate clause because it does not express complete thought and can't stand as a sentence. It depends on main clause. He likes Chinese rice to express complete thought. Now let's discuss the noun clause, which is a type of dependent clause. A dependent clause that functions as a noun in a sentence is called a noun clause. A noun clause performs some function like a noun in a sentence. For example, what he did made a problem for his family. In the above sentence, the clause what he did functions as a noun, hence it is a noun clause. A noun clause works as a noun that acts as a subject, object or predicate in a sentence. A noun clause starts with words that, what, whatever, who, whom, whoever and whomever. Let's move towards adjective clause. A dependent clause that functions as an adjective in a sentence is called an adjective clause. An adjective clause works like the adjective in a sentence. The function of an adjective is to modify or describe a noun or a pronoun. Similarly, a noun clause modifies a noun or a pronoun. For example, he wears a shirt which looks nice. The clause which looks nice in above sentence is an adjective clause because it modifies noun shirt in the sentence. An adjective clause always precedes the noun it modifies. Let's discuss restrictive and non-restrictive clauses. Adjective clauses can be restrictive clause or a non-restrictive clause. A restrictive clause limits the meaning of preceding noun or pronoun. A non-restrictive clause tells us something about preceding noun or pronoun, but does not limit the meaning of preceding noun or pronoun. For example, the student in the class who studied a lot passed the test. It is a restrictive clause. In the first sentence, the clause who studied a lot restricts information to preceding noun, that is student. It means there is only one student in the class who studied a lot, hence it is a restrictive clause. The student in the class who had attended all the lectures passed the test will be considered as a non-restrictive clause. In the second sentence, the clause who had attended all the lectures gives us information about about preceding noun but does not limit this information to the preceding noun. It means there can be several other students in the class who had attended the lectures. A comma is always used before a restrictive clause in a sentence and also after non-restrictive clause if it is within a main clause. That is always used to introduce a restrictive clause, while which is used to introduce a non-restrictive clause. Let's move towards adverb clauses. It is a dependent clause that functions as an adverb clause. An adverb clause, like an adverb, modifies a verb, objective clause, or other adverb clauses in a sentence. It modifies or describes the situation in main clause in terms of time, frequency, how often, cause and effect, contrast, condition, intensity, that is to what extent. The subordinating conjunctions used for adverb clauses are as follows. For time we use when, whenever, since, until, before, after, while, as, by the time, at, as soon as. For cause and effect we use because, since, now that, as long as, so and so that. For contrast we use although, even, whereas, while and though. For condition we use if, unless, only if, whether or not, even if, providing or provided that, and in case. So this is it for today. See you in the next video. Just stay tuned with Let's Learn English Online for more informative videos.